Hello, I'm Coach Michael Taylor, and I want to welcome you to 5 Keys to Turning Adversities into Allies. And if you're watching this video, chances are you've experienced some challenges in your own life, and you're possibly looking for some ways to deal with those challenges. And so I want to start with the good news, bad news. Bad news is life happens, challenges happen. Good news is you have everything you need right now to overcome any challenge or obstacle that's put in front of you. And so my job is to share some information, share some wisdom, some insights that hopefully can support you in moving past those challenges and living the life I know you're capable of living. And so my message is, it is absolutely possible for you to turn all of your adversities into allies and to live the life you were born to live. So if you're ready, let's get started with the 5 keys to turn adversities into allies. So the first thing we want to do is we want to define adversity. What exactly is adversity? Well, Webster's dictionary says that adversity is a state or instance of serious or continued difficulty or misfortune. So as mentioned, life is full of challenges. Life is full of adversities. But it's been said that it's not what happens to you that matters, it's what you do with what happens to you that matters. And so that is the attitude I want you to take as you're watching this video. Because stuff happens, but it's how you react to that stuff, which is going to determine whether or not you become a victor or a victim. And I want you to be a victor. So let's take a look at some people who have overcome adversities in their own lives and look at the end result. For example, Bill Gates, who happens to be the richest man on the planet, did you know that when he started his first business, it failed? So obviously he's experienced adversity in his life, but look at where he ended up. Or how about Albert Einstein? Albert Einstein, who in my mind is one of the most brilliant scientists who's ever lived. And he didn't speak until he was 4 years old. And his parents were concerned that there was something wrong with him. They didn't think he was really that smart. But we know the story about Albert Einstein, a brilliant, brilliant man. But once again, he overcame adversities in his own life. And Jim Carrey, who is one of the, if not the highest paid comedian on the planet, who receives $20-30 million every time he does a movie. Well, at one time he was homeless, so he's had to overcome some adversities in his life. Or how about Benjamin Franklin, who dropped out of school at the age of 10? A brilliant man who literally changed the world with his wisdom, although he dropped out of school at such an early age. And then there's Stephen King, who is the famous horror writer, who his first novel was rejected more than 30 times. And now he's one of the most premier writers of horror. And also his books have been turned into several multi-million-dollar movies. And then there's Oprah Winfrey, billionaire, who we all know through media, who runs a billion-dollar, multi-million-dollar media company. And you may not know that she was raped and molested as a child, and at 14 she gave birth to a child who eventually died. So she's overcome some really amazing adversities in her life, and look at where she ended up. Or how about Thomas Edison, who failed 1,000 times in his attempt to create the light bulb? And where would the world be without his invention of the light bulb? So he experienced lots of adversity in his life. And then there's Jay-Z, who is the famous rapper who's now worth some $500 million and who is the partner with, married to Beyonce, another famous person who overcame some adversities in her own life. But the point here is that Jay-Z attempted to get a contract signed for singing rap, and he was rejected several times. Nobody wanted him, so he started his own label. Now he's one of the most successful rappers and producers and in media. He's just a famous, well-known mogul these days. Entertainment mogul, probably a good way to see it. And then there's Steven Spielberg, who is one of my favorite directors, the creator of Jaws and Jurassic Park and several of my favorite movies that I absolutely love. And he was actually rejected from film school at USC. They didn't think he had the talent, and look at how he turned out. And so my story is really no different than these people. Because when you look at my story, I was born in the inner city projects of Corpus Christi, Texas, to a single mom with 6 kids. And to say we were poor would be a gross understatement. I dropped out of high school in the 11th grade because I convinced myself that I could get rich selling vacuum cleaners, and I failed miserably at that. I was homeless for 2 years as a result of a divorce, bankruptcy, foreclosure, and so I basically lost everything. So I definitely have experienced lots of adversity in my own life. I even overcame a deep state of depression in which I even contemplated taking my own life. So I know a thing or two about overcoming adversity, and now what I'd like to do is share 5 keys that I used that helped me overcome all the challenges in my life, and hopefully can support you in dealing with the challenges you may be facing in yours. So the first key to turning adversities into allies is you must be willing to take 100% responsibility for your life. That's it. You must make a commitment. You must know that you are 100% responsible for your life. You can't blame your parents. You can't blame where you were born. You can't blame the color of your skin. You can't blame your lack of education. You must decide that you're going to take 100% responsibility for your life and then make it happen. And a good way to do that is to look at what I call the 3 C's. And the 3 C's in life are this: choice, chance, change. You must make the choice to take the chance if you want anything in life to change. So that's the first key to turn adversities into allies. Take 100% responsibility for your life. Key number 2, you must be willing to get out of your comfort zone. You see, we don't grow when things are easy. We grow when we face challenges. And another way to look at getting out of your comfort zone is simply being willing to face your fears. You see, it's been said that fear is a destroyer of dreams. And if you aren't willing to address your fears, you will never move past, or shall I say, get out of your comfort zone that will allow you to create something new and different in your life. You know, it's been said that if you keep doing what you've been doing, you'll keep getting what you've always gotten. So you have to be willing to do something different with your life. And that something different is you've got to step outside of your comfort zone. You've got to step out and move past your fears. If you aren't willing to do that, you will not be able to turn your adversities into allies. So number 2 is be willing to get out of your comfort zone. Number 3, you must commit to your own growth. You see, if you're not willing to learn, no one can help you. But if you are determined to learn, no one can stop you. It is absolutely imperative that you make a commitment to growth. There's a wonderful saying that goes, if you aren't growing, you're dying. So make a commitment to constant and never-ending improvement, and I can assure you, you'll be able to turn your adversities into allies. Number 4, you must develop a positive attitude. You see, it was said that the greatest discovery is that a human being can alter his life by altering the attitudes of his mind. So what exactly is attitude? Well, my definition of attitude is the compilation and expression of your beliefs, thoughts, and feelings. You see, if you have negative beliefs, thoughts, and feelings, you're going to have a negative attitude. If you have positive beliefs, thoughts, and feelings, you're going to have a positive attitude. So if you're truly committed to turning your adversities into allies, the first thing, or one of the things you have to do, is to develop a positive attitude. Because whenever life throws challenges at you, if you have a negative attitude, guess what? It's going to make things more difficult to deal with. But if you maintain a positive attitude, if you maintain the idea that it is absolutely possible for you to overcome challenges in your life, then it's going to be much easier for you to turn your adversities into allies. So developing a positive mental attitude is paramount to your success. And number 5, you must develop an attitude of gratitude. You know, I don't care how difficult your life might be right now. I don't care how many challenges you may be faced with. I don't care what adversities are there right in front of you right now. Here's what I know. There's always, always, always something to be thankful for. And if you want to turn your adversities into allies, you must make a commitment to developing an attitude of gratitude. And a simple way to do that is that if every day you simply write down 5 things that you're grateful for, 5 things that you're grateful for, I can assure you that your attitude will begin to change. If you focus all of your attention on what's wrong with your life, I can assure you that more things that are wrong will show up. But if you begin shifting your attitude to an attitude of gratitude by looking at all the things you have to be grateful for, you lay the foundation for living the life you were born to live. So you must make a commitment that you're going to change. If you have a negative attitude towards life, you're going to create an attitude of gratitude by being willing to count your blessings and look at the things that are right with your life versus everything that may be wrong. If you do that, then you're ready to be propelled to live the life you were born to live. And so here's a recap. In order to turn your adversities into allies, first and foremost, take 100% responsibility for your life. Number 2, get out of your comfort zone. Be willing to face your fears. Number 3, commit to your own growth. Number 4, develop a positive attitude. And number 5, develop an attitude of gratitude. Count your blessings for that which you have and don't focus your attention on that which you don't have. And so if you will commit to these 5 keys, here's my promise to you. It's not going to be easy, but it's going to be worth it. In other words, all the challenges that you may be facing right now, when you overcome them, and I know that you can, when you overcome them, there will come a time when you will be able to look back and go, man, I did it. I overcame all of those challenges. And you'll look back and you'll go, man, that wasn't easy. But boy, the way that I feel right now, it was worth it. And so I want to share something that I wrote as a result of my own journey, my own ability to overcome seemingly insurmountable obstacles in my own life, and the result of me turning my adversities into allies. And I call this poem, actually it's not really a poem, it's really just some thoughts that I had as I was sitting down a few weeks ago, counting my blessings and writing down a gratitude list. And I wrote this, and it says, gratitude. After more than 20 years of overcoming failure, heartbreak, betrayal, disappointment, and a long list of other adversities, I realize that right now, in this very moment, I am happier now than I've ever been in my life. I am grateful for every adversity that I've ever faced because I realize that they have shaped and molded me into the man I am today. If I had to do it all over again, I wouldn't change a thing because I turned my adversities into allies, and each one of them brought me a gift that blessed me in some way, even when I didn't understand it at that time. So I sit here in deep humility and gratitude for this amazing gift called life. And my hope is that my work and my message inspires you to have a similar experience that allows you to feel the connection, awe, and gratitude of this divine and sacred gift called life. In love, light, and gratitude, Coach Michael Taylor. So my hope for you is that you will embrace these 5 keys to turning adversities into allies and recognize that you have everything you need right now within you to live the life you were born to live. Good luck on your journey.